WWE Extreme Rules 2012 pay-per-view review. The pay-per-view went off there a little while ago. As far as my thoughts on this, I thought it was a very entertaining show from WWE. With 3 great matches on here, with obviously Brock Lesnar and John Cena, the selling point I think everyone was looking forward to. And it wasn't the match I was expecting. I was expecting it to just be a very quick brawl, maybe 6-7 minutes, 8 minutes at tops, with Lesnar pretty much destroying John Cena, which he did do during the match. But I think everyone was expecting with Brock Lesnar's pay-per-view return and in-ring return that he was going to win this match, and that didn't happen. John Cena actually won this match, which was a biggest shocker the whole night, was John Cena defeating Brock Lesnar on this pay-per-view. And really great thing, really entertaining match with them too. Very good brawl. The Chicago Street Fight with CM Punk and Chris Jericho was very good as well. And surprisingly, Sheamus and Daniel Bryan was a whole lot better than what I was expecting. I know they've wrestled each other a lot, and they pretty much have some good chemistry with each other, but I wasn't expecting it to be nearly as good as what it actually turned out to be. And after WrestleMania, where we just got that 18-second match where Daniel Bryan lost that quick, this time you actually got a lengthy match between these two, and it was really entertaining. I know some people probably would have wished that Daniel Bryan would have won the match, but it was really entertaining match with Sheamus and Daniel Bryan. Probably one of Sheamus's best matches in his WWE career at this point in his career, in my opinion. The first hour of the show was really the only downturn of the show. Was very overwhelming, very piss poor the first hour of the show. But after that, and you got to the world title match with Daniel Bryan versus Sheamus with the 2 out of 3 Falls world title match, everything after that, including that match, was very good. The three main matches everyone cared about, and really the only thing after that you saw that was bad, which was the only match that was filler, which was the Divas title match. I think everyone was hoping to see Karma come out there, just destroy the Bellas and become the Divas champion, and maybe build up to Karma versus Beth for the Divas title. Unfortunately, that didn't happen, and Layla made her return, and Layla won the title, and I don't think anyone really gives 2 shits about Layla returning and win the Divas title. The first matchup, well, they did another pre-show this month. The pre-show match was the Miz versus Santino Marella for the U.S. title. The Miz has really dropped down a lot. Last year at this time he was main eventing, which he did a promo before this, pretty much pointing that out, that he's how far he's fallen within WWE. That last year he was main eventing Extreme Rules, and this year he's not even the opener of the pay-per-view, but he's basically in the dark match, the pre-show match that I'm pretty sure no one really cared about seeing online. Just what you would expect with the Miz and Santino. I was hoping that he was going to win the U.S. title. Didn't happen. Santino hit the Cobra to win this match. Nothing much at all. It's just something to put on for the pre-show. Just a filler match, about 1.5 stars at best. Santino retains the U.S. title. Then the pay-per-view starts. The first matchup was Kane versus Randy Orton, the Falls Count Anywhere match. Pretty decent opener. Pretty much what you would expect to see between Kane and Randy Orton. I thought it was just a little better than their WrestleMania match. You saw them brawling around the arena. They went to the back, came into the ring, and all that. And Orton ended up winning this match after hitting the RKO on a steel chair. So Orton basically gets his revenge here from WrestleMania with Kane beating him at WrestleMania. Picks up the victory here, about 2 1/4, 2.5 star match. It was what it was. I don't think anyone was expecting anything that much better than what it ended up being. Next matchup was just something they threw out to kill some time. This was Brodus Clay versus Dolph Ziggler, and God, this is the best thing they can do with Dolph Ziggler is really bad, because Dolph Ziggler, in my opinion, should be one of your top stars in WWE, and he's just doing this thing with Brodus Clay, and as expected, Brodus Clay still, the undefeated. He defeats Dolph Ziggler here. Terrible match, 1 star at best. Then the next matchup was Big Show versus Cody Rhodes for the IC title, and this was a tables match. I actually didn't mind the ending of the match. It made sense that basically Cody Rhodes won this match in a cheap fashion. Big Show basically put himself through a table, or kind of fell through a table by the size of him and his weight. Went through the table, and then basically that's how Cody Rhodes won the match. So Cody Rhodes kind of won this match in a very cheap fashion, which made sense, and I'm glad he has the IC title now. I was really worried they were going to drag it out and have Big Show have this IC title for at least 4 or 5 months. So thankfully, Rhodes is back as the IC champ. Cody Rhodes is back as the IC champ. Post match, obviously they're probably going to continue this feud, because Big Show just destroys Cody Rhodes after this match, puts him through 2 tables. And that's the end of that. Match wise, it wasn't that bad. Wasn't great or anything. About 2 and 1/4 star match, at least watchable. Then the next matchup, this is when the pay-per-view really picks up. This is the first of the really good matches of the night. Daniel Bryan versus Sheamus for the World Heavyweight Championship in a 2 out of 3 falls match. Before this, earlier they were backstage, and I think everyone was expecting AJ to play a role in the end of this match, which she actually didn't, even though they kind of teased it earlier with the little backstage segment with Daniel Bryan walking out there saying yes, 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 and then you see after he's walking away, AJ, lurking around backstage. So you thought she was going to do something there. They'll probably, do that at the next pay-per-view or at some point. They're going to end up having her turn on Daniel Bryan at some point or another. But this match was really entertaining. I'm glad that after what we got at WrestleMania, we actually got a real match this time, and very entertained, a whole lot better than what I was expecting. Even though they've worked with each other so much, you kind of would expect them to have this type of match this good. But my expectations for it, especially after what happened to Mania, didn't have high expectations. I knew this time we would at least get a match, so that was the good thing there. But this was really entertaining. You saw some good back and forth action, just good stuff from Daniel Bryan in here, and Sheamus as well. The first fall happens when Daniel Bryan just keeps on hitting Sheamus in the corner with his knees, going back and forth. The referee basically disqualifies, so Sheamus wins the first fall via disqualification. Then the second fall, Daniel Bryan puts in the LeBell Lock, now called the Yes Lock, into Sheamus. Sheamus doesn't tap out, he passes out, so Daniel Bryan wins the second fall via submission, so tied 1-1. Obviously, everyone knew this was going to go to the third fall, and it was looking like Daniel Bryan was going to be able to pick the victory up. Then Sheamus ended up hitting the Brogue Kick and retaining the World Heavyweight Championship. Very entertaining match. I would say 3 and 3/4 stars, maybe even 4 stars, because I really enjoyed this match a lot. Then the next matchup, well, this is actually one matchup when I was saying that other than the Divas match, everything was filler. This match was so much filler, I actually forgot about it until now. This was Ryback, aka Skip Sheffield, now going under Ryback, came out there and just basically destroyed 2 local jobbers, and the crowd was chanting Goldberg the whole time, which was pretty good, but it was just what it was. Ryback coming out there, squashing 2 people, in a star at best, nothing entertaining. Then you had CM Punk versus Chris Jericho, which the match before it at least made sense happening because you wanted to put something in between the 2 World Heavyweight title matches. So at least it made sense doing, I guess, but wasn't much of anything. But the next matchup was CM Punk versus Chris Jericho for the WWE Championship in the Chicago Street Fight. This was really entertaining. I liked it a whole lot. Probably a little better than the WrestleMania match. I know some people have mixed feelings of the WrestleMania match. I enjoyed it a lot. Some other people thought it wasn't as good. But I think most people would say, yeah, they probably did enjoy the Chicago Street Fight. It was really good brawling and stuff. You saw some mind games of Chris Jericho, obviously, in this match. Punk's sister was in the crowd. Jericho was basically going after her. She smacked Chris Jericho. Jericho's basically going to retaliate, try to hit her. Punk then tackles Jericho, goes ape shit, and throws him through basically the top of whatever is on the announce table. Places that up against it, throws him through that. They get into the ring. Do some good brawling, a lot of stuff in here, good counters and stuff. I just really enjoyed this match a whole lot. And CM Punk actually picks up the victory in this match. I was expecting, after CM Punk defeated Chris Jericho at WrestleMania, that Jericho might have picked up the victory here, even though booking-wise, obviously, you kind of had to have CM Punk win this match, considering, Jericho going into this pay-per-view, everything he's done to CM Punk. CM Punk would have looked really bad if he would have not picked a victory up here, but really good ending here. Chris Jericho's basically he hit. It looks like it was going to be the end. Punk had a chair in his hand. Jericho hit the code breaker with the chair. Almost guaranteed that looked like that was going to be the ending. And then at the end, Punk I think counters out of the walls of Jericho. Basically, earlier in the match, you saw one of the top turnbuckles pads get taken off by Chris Jericho. came back to cost Jericho in the end of the match. Basically got catapulted into it. Then Punk hits the go to sleep for the victory to retain the WWE Championship. Really entertaining street fight. About 4 and 1/4 star match. Really enjoyed it a whole lot. And then then the next matchup was the Divas title match. This was Nikki Bella versus Layla. Layla was returning here. Everyone, I think, thought that Karma was going to be the opponent for the Bellas here. Well, not the Bellas, but Nikki Bella. Fortunately, that didn't happen, and Layla came out there. She won the Divas title. Not just your typical Divas match. Nothing really much to talk about. Layla picks up the victory, and Layla picks up the victory. 1 star at best. Then the last match, obviously the main event. John Cena versus Brock Lesnar, Extreme Rules. This was just a great match. This was high intensity, great brawl. Definitely definitely got a whole lot more time than I was expecting. I think everyone was expecting just a very quick brawl, maybe just him destroy Cena real quick and pick up the victory. That didn't actually happen. Lesnar pretty much almost all this whole entire match, it was Lesnar just beating the shit out of Cena. That was pretty much what the match was, but it was really entertaining. John Cena gets busted open very quick in this match. Brock Lesnar takes him down on the mat, starts punching him, then hits him with a few elbows, and that calls it John Cena. That's where he got busted open, and both of them were bloody in this match. They did a lot of great things in here, back and forth, strikes and punches. At the beginning, it was more or less just Lesnar beating the shit out of him. Cena didn't really get much in there until obviously the end when he picks the victory up. And this one thing I didn't expect Brock Lesnar to do. He brought the steps in the ring and basically dived out on Cena onto the apron and went over the top rope as well to the floor. He tried that once again. This time it wasn't successful like the first time. John Cena had the chain in his hand, hit Brock Lesnar with it. That's when Brock Lesnar got busted open. And the end of this match, Cena actually hits the attitude adjustment to pick up the victory. And I don't think anyone saw this coming. John Cena winning this match and defeating Brock Lesnar's return match. But I think this right here, because I've heard people backstage saying that with Brock Lesnar returning the way he left, felt like he was getting a little too much coming back, and the morale and everything backstage was a little low for that. And I think with him doing the job here, I think some of those wrestlers backstage that kind of felt had mixed feelings about Lesnar returning to WWE. I think he's proved himself here that he came back, and I don't think anyone expected him to come back and actually do the job. So Cena wins this match, 3 3/4 star match. Really enjoyed it a lot. Great brawl. Chicago Street Fight was really entertaining, and Daniel Bryan versus Sheamus was really good. So those 3 matches alone, I would say, go out your way to check this pay-per-view out. I would definitely skip the first hour of the show. Just start watching it at the Daniel Bryan versus Sheamus match. First hour is very, very, very overwhelming, very weak undercard for this, but those 3 matches were so good it made the show. So I would, even with the first hour being like it was, 3 matches were so good, I'd probably give this show about 8.25, maybe even an 8.5 out of 10, because those were really entertaining matches. So yeah, that's it for my WWE Extreme Rules 2012 pay-per-view review. All right, peace.